Hello everybody, my name is KingStix and today I'm going to be showing you how to do the Zac Jungle and do the cheats properly. First off, start at your raptors, solo them, don't get a leash otherwise enemies will know what's going on. Try to auto the one closest to you as you're running away, and whenever your W is up, try to hit every single one with your W because your talisman will apply a burn effect to all of them which will heal you and damage them all. So notice how whenever my W is coming up I walk towards them all, use it, but whenever it's not up I'm walking away and autoing. That way the raptors will get off the least amount of damage as possible because they're busy trying to chase me. Take your Q level 2 and go straight to your red buff. Auto use your W and then run straight towards your golems into the bush. Q your golems, auto the red. You get an extra bloblet this way and you do extra damage to your red and you stun it. Really great way of doing it. I did miss that bloblet over there. That was my fault. I should have ran to pick it up a little bit sooner. As I'm autoing the red, I'm using my W whenever it comes up. Whenever my Q comes up, Q the golems, knock them together and continue attacking it. I don't want to use my smite on the red buff because the big golem does actually more damage than the red buff, so I'll take the least amount of damage by saving my smite for the golem over here. Walking over, I want to use my Q on the big one, auto the little one, slam them together, use W, auto attack, proceed to pick up my blobs and use W every time it's up, and auto the golem whenever my auto attack is up. I'm going to smite the big golem, kill it, and then proceed to finish off the rest of the camp. I really like this cheese start because Zac is actually fairly easy to counter jungle if you're an aggressive early game jungler like Graves, Kha'Zix, Warwick, and whenever you do this start, it's very difficult to counter jungle Zac because he started on one whole side, and by the time you get there, that whole side will be cleared. After doing golems, you will be level 3. At this point, I highly recommend ganking the enemy bot lane. They never see it coming. Plus, since you have all 3 abilities, it's a really cheesy way to get a quick kill for your bot lane. Thresh disappeared. I figured he was coming toward the bush, and he does. The moment he wards it, I run out to cuck the Jinx. She's obviously not paying attention. I use my E behind her. Even if she flashes like she did, I still have my Q. I'm going to Q her, auto the minion, and she's dead at this point. There's no way she's going to get away because Thresher is only level 2 and doesn't have his lantern yet. That's why this gank is so effective, because you'll be level 3 with all 3 abilities while the enemy bot lane at max is level 2 with 2 abilities. Paying attention to the minimap, I see Tryndamere going towards the top area. Veigar sees it as well and goes to ward my blue, also to support Volibear a little bit. Now Tryndamere can't counter jungle the side I left open. He is at a massive disadvantage now because my bot lane is ahead. I know Tryndamere can't fuck with me now. I'm going to attack the blue buff, move it towards the Gromp, Q the Gromp, and slam them together for more damage and more bloblet, so I just healed quite a bit. Use my E on both of them, W them, and I could have killed them both at once without them resetting. And since Zac has a lot of AoE damage and I can slam them together with my Q, I'm taking very little damage. It's crazy. I'm level 3, killing Gromp and blue at the same time for maximum speed and efficiency, and I'm still taking barely any damage. Took them both out. I'm level 4 now. Pretty gosh darn quick. Keeping a close eye on the minimap, I see Veigar is getting chased. I'm immediately going to run down to try to help him. I can only get there so fast since I don't really have any items, but I'm going to charge up my E as they're chasing. I do miss out on the Victor. However, it does lead to a strong double kill using my Q to knock them both together. Bane gets a kill out of it, which is great, and they both die. Overall, it was a great trade for the Veigar. He still got a bunch of permanent AP off of it since he did get 2 assists out of it. Jinx doesn't have flash. I know this. This will be a good gank. There's a massive wave at my bot lane right now, so I don't want to force it. We could potentially die if we try to fight while that wave was alive. I'm going to wait until my bot lane clears it, go around the long way. That way they have time to clear it. I'm going to wait here. It doesn't seem like this is warded. I walk out of the bush, charge up my E, shoot it behind them. I still have my Q. I hit the Thresh, flash into the Jinx. I know she doesn't have flash. Good condemn by the Vayne. Good shield by the Lulu. I walk away. Thresh puts way too much faith into his Flay and thinks he can like AoE my bloblets or something. So he walks forward, flays, doesn't even come close to killing me, and he ends up sacrificing himself. 2 more kills for our bot lane, and this is going to snowball very hard. It's really good that I did this because Jinx against Vayne, if Vayne falls behind, you just lost the game because Jinx is insane late game. Plus, since Jinx has more range than Vayne, if Vayne falls behind, it's very hard for her to come back. But since I got Vayne ahead, now there's not much Jinx can do because Vayne has a lot higher single target damage. So if they do get in a 2v2 fight, Vayne will kill Jinx much faster than Jinx can kill the Vayne. I went straight for Cinderhole because Zac doesn't need boots that badly. And in a gank, the only mobility Zac needs is his E. And plus with having blue smite, that's more mobility I have and less mobility they have since it's slow and speed up. E behind them, knock up the Jinx, Q the Jinx, I smite the Thresh to slow him down so I can run up to him and auto him to slam them together. We still get the kill on Jinx and get the flash out of the Thresh. It was important that I smited the Thresh, that way she couldn't take his lantern and run away. And since I knocked them together, Whenever she did take the land, it didn't help her out that much. I'm being patient and waiting to get a clear shot, that way I don't waste my E. E towards the Thresh, Q him, auto the turret, slam them together, walk up knowing he's going to try to flame me, use my ultimate to negate all CC and ult him backwards out of turret range and doing a lot of damage to him as well, letting Vayne auto him for free. I then walk up to get vision because Jinx is really far behind. I know she's going to be greedy to get CS. This way I can catch her out of position with my E, Q her and slam her together against her own minions, and it leads to another really cheap kill. Plus we can still break their turret. Zac is an extremely tanky, high CC version of KingStix. KingStix has 0 CC in his kit unless you count the slow from his W. Other than that though, there's really nothing in his kit that you can consider CC. Meanwhile, Zac doesn't use mana, has lower cooldowns, and way more CC. The only disadvantage Zac has is you can counter jungle him early because Zac isn't that strong of a 1v1 jungler. However, using smart jungle pass, you can avoid 1v1s with enemy junglers and dominate the enemy laners. The biggest mistake I see people make on Zac in the jungle is they want to just non-stop power farm jungle. On Zac, you really want to get your levels and be forcing down lanes. Zac as a power farm jungler doesn't contribute near as much as a ganking Zac does. For example, you saw me gank level 3 and I got a flash and still got a kill. If you know what you're doing on Zac, you can put out a lot more pressure by ganking rather than power farming. Also, a big issue with power farming is you're not guaranteeing yourself a win. Zac can't 1v1 the enemy jungler like a power farm Shyvana. So if I'm just power farming and being really predictable, if I run into the enemy jungler like Shyvana or Udyr, I could get really messed up. There's nothing wrong with farming a camp while you're waiting to gank though. That's something you need to get good at while playing Zac. Farm a camp, be watching the lane, and if you're waiting for it to become more optimal, just keep watching it and then you can go gank it after you're done farming the camp. I couldn't gank top lane yet because Volibear didn't have minions at the turret. I finished doing the golems knowing by the time I was done, Volibear would be ready for the dive, and sure enough, we get the kill and neither one of us die. Zac does really well with just stacking HP, the way his abilities scale and his passive works, which is why after Cinderhulk, I recommend going straight for a Warmog. In this case, it was a little awkward because I didn't have quite enough health yet. I was a little below 2,750, so I couldn't quite cash in on the Warmog's unique passive, which was very unfortunate. But still, the Warmog is a fairly cheap item that gives an insane amount of HP, and if the enemies focus me down in the fight, they're going to lose the fight anyways. In this game, you can argue that I'm insanely fed, or at least moderately fed. In a normal game where you're not quite as good as me, or if you're not smurfing, you won't be quite this fed, so by the time you do get the Warmog, you will have enough HP. It just happens in this game I did so particularly well that I had more gold than matched my level. If I was a level or 2 higher right now, I would definitely have the unique passive on my Warmog working. With how tanky I am right now, we can easily force a win. All we have to do is group up and shove down a turret. I can jump in, take 15 turret shots and not even die. Plus with my CC, I can hold them all still. Veigar can land his rock for free and it's a game over. I don't really recommend playing Tryndamere jungle. It's super cheesy. It's basically a worse version of Jax. With Jax jungle, at least he has a CC. With Tryndamere jungle, they both have a jump, but Tryndamere jungle has no CC. Tryndamere jungle is a hopeful pick, assuming you can make it to the late game and your team has a proper front line, because Tryndamere does do more damage than Jax in that sense. I'm going to show you Zac's burst and how I outsmite Tryndamere even though we're both level 9. I use my E, immediately ultimate, and smite it. I did have to auto attack to finish it off, but since my ultimate pushed Tryndamere away, he couldn't even smite it to take it away from me. We're so far ahead, Tryndamere really doesn't have any business trying to contest his own red buff. We're going to pincer him. I come in with my E, knock him off. Unfortunately, I don't have time for my Q to come off a cooldown to use it on him and bang him and Victor together. It's whatever though. We push Tryndamere off, nearly kill him. We can easily dive the turret now. I'm tanking it, have plenty of HP. It switches off to Volibear. I use my E to knock into Jinx as she's stunned, use my W, help finish her off with the Veigar. Jinx and Victor are both dead now. Thresh is going to try to solo defend the turret against our whole team, I suppose. Gangplank is there as well. I'm not too concerned. I'm not even 20 HP. I'm 18 HP short of getting the Warmog's unique passive, which would give me insane out of combat healing. Thresh foolishly staying to defend turret. I E onto him, land it, Q, auto the turret, slam them together. I didn't get great follow-up from the Veigar in this case. I feel like his E must have been down. He does land his E, gets all 3 inside. We don't quite get a kill on any of them, but we get them really low and push them off. I do have enough HP now for my Warmog to give me loads of passive healing. As you see now, I'm getting over 165 healing per second. I want to lurk off to the side and heal while the enemies engage on my team. Sure enough, since Veigar is low, so is Volibear, the enemies want to engage. I am now full health, E towards the Victor. Volibear flips him out of my E, unfortunately. I Q, knock Victor and Thresh together. We get the kill on Victor, pick it up on Thresh. I'm going to run under turret and start tanking for my team. Warmog is so OP, I can just step out of combat, heal back all my health in the matter of 10 seconds. The enemy team realizes they've lost and surrendered at 15 minutes in the game. And that is how you carry with Zac with strategic ganks and smart jungle routes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.